Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. And today we are going to first of all figure out what we are going to do because we were done with uh, the string questions that we have in hand. Okay, and we'll try and let's see. We basically have to figure out and then do. Okay, I'll share you the screen with. I'll share the screen with you in just a second. Got a bit late today, but I guess we'll cover up for that. So main thing is to figure out good like what we actually want to do now, and if we want to continue with strings. Let's see if there are any questions that got asked in any company. Mm-hmm. Oops, spiral one got asked in so many companies, and there is one special condition for it. Okay, metrics questions are getting asked. Okay. Okay. 5 3. Okay. String questions are one thing, and we have some, what do you say, uh, sorting algorithms that we have to revise. Apart from it, what do we have after we complete the test? Let's say what is in the test. If there are any good questions, we'll surely, I think we can do this. Moderate is minimum length word. Okay, leaders in array. I think we can do this also. Oh my god, this got asked in so many companies: Apple, Facebook, Expedia Group, Hurdle 01. Right as you speak, string 1 after iteration. Right as you speak is a special sequence of strings that starts with 1, and after one iteration you rewrite the sequence as whatever you speak. Example 1, 1 1. Wow. Okay, okay. 1 1. The repression is 2 1. Okay, 1 2 and 1 1. Okay, so we get 1 2 and 1 1. Then we say 1 1 1 2 and 2 1. Okay, right? 1 1 1 2 and 2 1. Yes. And then we say 3 1 2 2 1 1. And what do we say? 1 3 1 3 1 1 2 2 2 1. Understood. Understood. Wow, love this question. So, okay, for basically the next 3 days, I'm going to solve questions from here. Okay, so our target for the next today's 15th. Let's okay, let's plan out things a bit. So per day, we want to do how many questions? Perfectly. I mean, from start to end, till from the basic till the best solution. How many questions do we actually want to solve? Maybe two as of now. We can solve four, five, six questions even. But hello, check check. Okay, so okay, two D array we have one. We can watch these, I guess. There's no problem watching these, right? So our target is to solve three. Okay, let's make it a bit. Uh, I mean, we actually are putting effort, so it makes sense to do at least three questions per day if we are having three sittings, at least one question, one sitting. Okay, so even if we are having two sittings, let's just try to. These are not very tough questions, so we can do, I mean, two to three questions, right? But we have to at least have a target. Minimum that we have to do. Minimum is two, maximum is three. Okay, so three in a day, and this will take another day. Then 2 days are over here. We have 2 days of problem inside the 2D array, and in the test of the string. We want to take. There are five questions, so you might want to take 2 days. So 4 days for completing this part, right? 2 days for the whole thing. Sorry, for 4 days for the whole thing. My bad. For those who don't know, there's no one joining, but still, if someday in future, if I get famous and people come to these videos where I am live streaming, and for the ones who don't know, I've taken this course 2 years back, and I've asked for an extension of this course because I want to actually complete things, and I don't want to leave things midway. I had a very good trajectory, had a very good momentum build up when I was initially back in 2 years ago. I was solving this, but I got mixed up in too many things at a time, so I slowly lost track of this. Okay, so we have oops. Okay, so actually I have done till recursion actually, but I requested the CN guys to please revert the things that I've done over here to please what do we say, reset, so that I can check for my progress daily. Well, this is what they did, and I have nothing in hand. Pending recursion. Okay, so oops is fun. Oops is fun. It will take us hardly 2 days, 3 days max at max. 3 days to complete. Recursion will take us. I actually I fell in love with recursion the time I was doing it hardcore. So I want to fall in love with recursion again. It's not something you want to really leave because it helps you in concepts that you're actually going to use over here. Graph DP graph. This is what I've heard. Okay, so recursion and then time complexity. Linked list is lovely. Stacks, queues, trees, binary tree, VST. So our target for the day is 2 questions at least. Okay. In this setting, only in this setting, I want to reach over here. Okay, mainly we have questions and we have few videos only. That's it. I want to reach over here before just before the spiral matrix. And anyhow, today I'll complete the spiral matrix code. And target is to get this done by 4:30. 1 hour. Done deal. Next, 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 next. How many elements are present in a 2D array? 2 is to 5, 10. Find out the total number of columns, total columns in the second row for the given 2D array. 6. Wow. And import Java to scanner. 33. Okay, so the problem is ultimately we are printing this, and this is actually nothing. So this is index out of bounds. So this position actually doesn't exist. So this whole code is correct, but this statement here is wrong, incorrect. So provide Java line reads and then attempts to find the values at the position of 3 or 3 which is out of bound, right? So how can we access last element in a row to 5 cross 5 2D array? Length minus 1, length minus 1, or simply 4 4. Basics of 2D array. Wow. So basically in the first video we learned about just array initialization, and how are we accessing each element. Done with this. Few questions coming up. So there will be a few questions coming up. And today I haven't checked if I am live properly. Mm-mm-mm. Hello, hello. Check, 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 check. Just want to check if my sound is coming while sound is coming along with the background music. What will be the output of the following code? Public static 4 5, and then we exit to 5. Mm. It will is 100% going to give error because you are accepting 5 elements and you have only 4 rows, and there is only going to be you want to, so the problem will occur at 4 0 because nothing exists like it. What is the reasoning? What will be the output of the following code? Publish at a void main initialization to do its error. It's an error. This is fine. Outer loop is for the number of rows, inner loop is for the column, and you just have the multiplicative values of, you have the product of the indices inside the cells of the array. Oh my god, battery low. I'll shadow. Battery low. 3 into 4, and that is 12. 12 is the answer. You do a simple code to get just a hold of 2D arrays. Okay, I think now I can unmask. What will be the output of the following code? Public static void include public initialization. Two, correct. Uh, Zero is the right. Okay, really zero. So by default value to any blank space inside the array is zero. So it will ultimately get printed if you are not assigning any values. Okay, so the question here is given a metric size and okay. Okay, arrays, and then the size of array is actually 2 and 2. Okay, fine. Is 1 and a 5 length. So correct. First we tell how many arrays are we actually do we actually want to input and print. Okay, without seeing the code, let's or let's just look at the code. Have a look at the code. Pick our question because the input doesn't match what I've coded over here. They don't want what actually they are asking over here. Let's take a quick break. Jai Shri Ram, back again with back again with even more energy, with higher dose of energy, and we are on this question. Okay, what does it ask? Okay, two questions. Oh my god, three questions. We'll get to solve three questions. Thought that we'll complete till here, but maybe we want to do things right here till here. I guess it is fine. Okay, so basically they are checking row wise traversal. If we are, so what they want is actually, what they want is actually you. So print row wise is the function. So we are given an array. Okay, we'll assume we are given an array. Okay, so we'll take. So we'll first of all. Wow. Okay. So we are given a 2D array, right? We are given the reference of the 2D array, and we have to take out the length and the number of columns extract, and then we just simply have to iterate through the array to print all the elements inside the array. This is basically the question. This 2 times it will run is not our part. Even if it would have been, we would have simply coded for that. It's a simple loop thing. It's a simple while loop that we require over here. So it is basically giving us this array, and it wants us to print this array, right? It wants us to print this array. My bad. Okay, so I think we can do that. Although I have quickly glimpsed through the code just now. So also they want us to return an array, so we can do that. Why are we having this count over here? I don't understand. What is the use of this count? I don't think this count is necessary. Or is it or was it necessary? Okay. So every time we are initializing a new array, every time we were initializing the new array, where what did I remove? Count is over here. Okay. Okay. So and in array we don't have to write brackets. We just simply have to write length. Okay. In the strings we have to write as function. Okay, I am not seeing the code. I just simply want to wow. I just simply want to write the code myself. We'll remove this line because we hate this line. Custom test cases, I want you to go submerge inside. So basically we have an array where you want to print that array. Simply this. Actually we want to store that array. Right, okay, now the fun part is going to be, okay, solving is one thing and solving it well is another. So we'll not only solve it, we'll solve it well. So yes, we'll go with the approach that is coming in my mind. Okay, let's do it. Okay, first we take out the number of rows and number of columns. Okay, so int rows. Okay, so rows are going to be a dot length, simply the length of the array. Okay, I'll let you know how why we are writing this. A dot okay, now a, and in the first element we have an array. I want to count this array's length. Okay, so this is an another array that we are talking about. Okay, and we want its length, so it's a different game over here. It can, if we were to write 2, if we were to write 1, we could have done that. Okay, but why to make things complex for us without any reason, and let's just keep it simple. 0. Okay, so we have the rows and the columns. Now what do we want to do? We want to write a for loop and we want to iterate through every character inside the array. Because what would I have done to simply print it? Okay, we would have simply written, okay, can we use a for each loop over here? Let's not. Okay, let's keep it simple, very old school over here. And then we write rows I plus plus. Outer loop is for rows, inner loop is for the column, and j is calls, and j plus plus. Then we simply want to dot. Okay, and then we simply want to print what? Print a space, yes, but we want to simply print a I and then j. Right, so this works. I know this works. Now we have to return int. How are we actually going to initialize the new array? How? What is going to be the length of the array? The new array, int array, result is new int, and that will be okay. Yes, Now it's going to be the multiplication of both the rows and columns. That is going to give us the number of elements that are going to be there inside the array. And then we have inside the array, and then we have, are we good with this? Yes. Now we have the number of elements over here. Okay, so the count is for the index, right? At what index? I understand now. Int index, index for, is it how you write indices? I guess so. So instead of writing it, Shashank, what are we going to do? We'll comment this line, we'll go down, and what we'll do is in the result array, result in the result array, we are going to have a single item that is going to be index, and that index will increase. That index will give the value I j over here. Oops, and this is going to be, yes, ing, right? And then we are going to do index plus plus, simple. This is how, and we'll return the result over here. Right, I think, yes, we simply have to pass the reference. Now if we run it, we'll compile. I don't think we could have made any mistake in such a simple code. Yes, we have. The new array lengdh right, turn it, I hate dark. This color very dear. While na class scotch. Now I'll ask my friend GBD, and in a second I'll resume sharing my screen. We'll open ChatGPT. So we'll ask my friend GBD, where are you, bro? Also, yes, you're here. So we'll ask you, is this the most optimal solution to exist for this problem? It's correct. I just want to know if this is the most optimal solve for, or is there anything you can teach me? Woo! Let's see what we get now. Yes, this is the most optimal solution. That's sad. Now tell me why and what. Now tell me. Now let me. Oh my god. Now let me tell you why and what. Very little you can still learn from it. Time complexity. Okay. You must visit every element of the matrix to print collected row wise. Yes, you are correct. Total elements is equals to rows into columns. Your code touches every element exactly once. The time complexity is equals to rows into columns. This is the best possible. You cannot do better. Space complexity. The return the 1D array. This space, this out space is required. No extra unnecessary data structure. Auxiliary space of 1. Output not counted. Okay, again optimal. Wow. What you did right? Important pre-calculated. Tiny improvements, lessons not required but good to know. Okay, we are open to learn. Guard against empty input, and that is defensive coding. Oh my god. A is equals to null. If a is equals to null, okay, what does it check? I really want to know what does a is equals to null check and how. See, this can be understood well, right? Dun, 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 dun. Enhanced for loop, you could have written. Wow. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yes, this is what. This is, yes, exactly something I want to learn. I don't get it. So in A, every element of A is what? Every element. Every element of the bigger array is actually an array itself. Yes. So now this is wow. Yeah, this is so cool. It feels so good to learn something new. Okay, so every element of A is an array, so we declare a row as array, right? And inside the row you have elements, and those are actually integer values. And this is how you can. This is how you write. Actually, I was seeking how do we now write the for each loop over here. So yes, something I learned. Okay, and this is when you have to calculate the full or write or fill visit every element, right? For introducing INJ, you can definitely tweak things a bit. This in super duper short. Tell tell me what does it do and why do we when do we actually need it in what SCENARIO. Check if the array does not exist, no memory allocated, or does check if the array. Oh my god. When we input might be missing or not created. Okay, this is something that does not exist. A does not exist. Okay, and we are having a input might be missing. Okay, so and scenario user input API data unknown sources is equivalent to avoid crashes when the array for the array we never created when the array was never created. Okay, so what do we write instead of it? Return new int, and if array length is equals to 0 और length ही 0 है तो ये array ही नहीं है ना. Now we will write return array, so we are creating basically creating new array over here of length 0. We are returning an array of 0 please, I don't want a lengthy reply. So it simply returns 0 and you are returning an array. Would you mind see my typing skills? All the errors are happening from my right hand because it is cold. Wow. 157, 145. Wow. 144 sustained. For 6 seconds sustained 120 plus. And for 10 seconds I have been 112 plus. And for okay. Nice. Good, good. Okay, so all the test cases passed. So this is the best possible solution for this particular solution. We'll submit it and we'll see where do we stand in the graph. I think somewhere over here. Come. Oh, okay. My guess was correct. Okay, so we are good. Okay, so let's go on to the. Okay, so it is asking for a column-wise traversal, I think. But instead of doing this, what we could have actually done is we would have kept this row as it is. Okay, and we would have called this out as cul calls. Okay, and the index we'll write it index. Can we write change it all? Index. Okay, the index is equal to 0 and column rows and columns, right? You want rows and columns, and we'll exactly have the same thing, but instead of writing row over here, we'll write call over here and row over here, and it doesn't change anything. We still have this j for the outer loop. Now the columns are our rows and the rows are our columns. This remains same. This nothing changes. Okay, simply we run the code. Yep, makes sense. You want to write rows over here and calls over here, right? Right. Now, just for a simple change and for the things that we have learned, let's just let the compilation happen. Okay, so we'll write for each, we'll utilize for each loop over here. Okay, so int, this is a call. Okay, and for what? And we are inside a, right? Yes, we are going to call now what do we write here? Int well from the calls, right? But we have nothing over here. How are we going to play with this? Right, and if the answer is yes, okay, so I'm going to figure this out. So for each loop basically does is you take out the first length and you have an array, and you have an array and you thread through the array, then you have figured out the values set there, and basically all you want is a value here, right? You want is a value here. So how will you get this value over here? So once we are done at one here, we are having rows, right? Okay, here we are having rows. Let's keep it simple. In the mind we have it. Okay, here we have rows, and here we have column, right? And the rows are basically what? Arrays. Rows are basically what? Arrays over here. Sorry, the arrays over here. So we want to and something like uh, call, which is actually a row, right? Something like from A. Yes, from A. And for the first column, now you have is what? Uh, int well from the row column for the column, right? Or the row actually. And in that row, you want to have the first element. So this side is going to be an array. From the call simply. I don't think then we need this other than initialization. I think when things are simple, we don't want to complicate it. And just for the learning perspective, we are fine with what we have submitted. Okay, let's bounce on to the next question. Row wise sum. For a given two-dimensional integer array list of size n across m, find and print the sum of each row elements in a single line. Okay, understood. Understood. So the array, this is the array that we have. So 3. What is so tough in this question? But still, I'll write it. Can I do Control Z? I control copy the code, and then I'll do reset because it makes more sense now. Just for the sake of writing, I'm writing this code now. Thinking in terms of INJ is rather simpler. have to return the array? No, we just have to print. I think I can print without any extra thing. Okay, so for int I is equal to 0, I is less than what? Rows. Then we have I plus plus. Then we have columns for int j is equal to 0 and it's j is less than col and my j plus plus, and then so for right now what? I just don't want extra trailing space. So what can I do for that? I don't think that matters actually. Why have I actually submitted directly? I should have checked. Yes, error index out of bounds. Row wise sum, no? So for each row we are calculating the sum, and then this is correct. Then we are printing the sum, and whenever it starts again, it starts from 0. If you have two things, then you have 1 2 and that is 3. You must get 3. Where am I failing? Exception is in the main thread. 24. There are 24 lines. The runtime error. I have written exactly the same code. Length. So why is it not working? There has to be a reason why it isn't working. Input for input 1 and you have 0 0. Please don't work or else I'll get oh. June 2024. Yes, see, 1.5 years back. Raise the question for the similar same question. So actually there's no problem. Let it be, it doesn't matter so big because we have the code solved. Alright. Should we do this? So the question is, oops. So the question is, you are given a 2D array. This is rows, number of column. Check if the given array forms a square matrix and return its diagonal elements. So for a square matrix, you must have same number of rows and columns. And in the new string we have to actually and diagonal elements, right? So if I and j are equal, that then we add it in the string. Wow, and we are achieving this in the time complexity of n instead of O of n square. This is fun. How intelligent can could someone be to write this? A single for loop and you write I and I, and that is going to be case because it's every time going to be a square matrix. What do I do with my hands and mouth? Next. Okay, the highest sum. I don't think this is going. Oh, what? What is the code? Largest sum. We'll do it in the next setting. Okay. Has it been 1 hour since we have been live streaming? And 1 hour 20 minutes is what we have taken to reach this question. It's fine. It's not super good, but it's fine. Okay. This is a good one. I have this, but it is not going to pose any problem. But it's something. But it is a question where I would actually want myself to indulge in. Correct. Correct. You're right, Shashank. So, so I think this is it for now. Okay, for this particular stream, let's stop right here. Okay, so I don't want to exceed myself or exhaust myself. I don't want to have this thought inside my head that doing DSA, sitting for DSA is going to be hard. Nope. I want to I want to actually think and think that ESA, DSA is fun, enjoyable, and it's doable. The target is to make it more doable every time, more easy. Once the habit is built, a habit is built, we can slowly raise the bar every time. And there is uh, this we are not losing anything doing this, so why not, let's just stick to what we have started with. Okay, so thank you for joining or not joining.